Hey everyone, and welcome back to Adair Homes Live. We will be hosting these events from experts around the industry on a weekly basis to help you understand kind of the ins and outs of building a new custom home on your property. My name is Jay Sowers. I'm the Director of Sales here at Adair Homes. And today, our guest is Aaron Edgman. Aaron is our lead superintendent from our Portland metro region. So welcome, Aaron. Glad to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
Today, we're going to be talking about what to expect during a property evaluation. We will be monitoring the chat, so please let us know where you're watching from. Tell us where you're building or thinking about building. Tell us what part of the home building process you're in or what stage you're in, because we definitely want to hear from you, and we will be monitoring the chat. And we'd also love to hear any questions that you may have specific about property valuations or the process in general. So put the questions in the chat and let's get rolling. So Aaron, at a very high level, can you kind of explain to everyone what is a property evaluation?
Yeah, a property evaluation is when we come out and assess the site to make sure that we can execute on the house you want to build. We're looking for accessibility, site conditions as far as grade and that kind of stuff, helping you maybe determine the best layout for the house, things that you might not have thought about that could help for a better resale or potentially lower cost with site development and things like that.
Okay, so are there substantial reasons why a customer should have a property evaluation completed?
Yes, there is, and that's because we want to make sure that we're finding out as many unknowns as possible before you get started into the process. You don't want to get into something and find out that it was a wetland and you've already purchased that property. So maybe you're during your feasibility time figuring out if it's the right place to actually build or if it's a flood zone that might potentially need flood cert, that things along those lines to make sure that it's within what you were expecting and can execute on.
Okay, I think that makes sense. And is there, for those of us that may not know about Adair Homes at all, is there any cost associated with having a superintendent come out and evaluate a property?
No, absolutely not. All our property evaluations are complimentary for anybody that meets the criteria, meaning that they have a purchase agreement with the land. They're pre-approved or verification of funds, and then we'll come out and help assist in determining what would fit best on that lot for you.
Okay, so really, if I understand you correctly, as long as there's funds available or a customer's at least pre-approved for a loan, and then we at least have a offer on the property, then Adair's all over it, correct?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So help me understand when in the process, if I was a customer, when in the process does the property evaluation take place?
The property evaluation would take place. You might not have to have the house quite figured out at that point, but once you put an offer in on the lot, or if you already own the lot and maybe thinking about building something at that point, that's when you would start that process to do that property evaluation. Definitely, if it's making an offer on a lot, you want to do that within your feasibility. So, because a lot of feasibilities aren't extremely long, so you have limited time to maybe figure out a lot of different things, and different jurisdictions have different requirements. So some things have a little bit longer lead time. So the sooner you get in when you got a purchase agreement, the better position you guys will be in moving forward.
Yeah, I think Aaron, that's actually a great point, because for those of us that may not know, when you put an offer on a piece of property, right? I know it's a kind of a scary event for those of us that have never done it before, but you're really just asking the owner of the property to just take it off the market for 15 days, for 30 days, and let you evaluate if the property is going to fit your needs and your budget. And quite frankly, at the end of the feasibility period, whether it's 15 or 30 days, if it doesn't work out, Well, then great. Just rescind your offer on the property. No harm, no foul. And if budgets do end up working out, only then would we, pursue actually building on the lot. So I think that's a very valid point. And Aaron, like you just addressed, that's why it's so important to get a property valuation from the builder during the feasibility study of the property to make sure it's a good fit. So, Aaron, I know that there's a lot of things to look at when doing a property valuation with a client, but can you kind of help all of us understand what are like the big items that you or any of the superintendents would be looking for during a property valuation?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things we're looking at is just the site conditions as far as house placement. Is it potentially in a wetland? Is there a buffer fire break zone? Is it going to fit within those requirements? We're looking at grade of the property, meaning how much slope is there from front to back, left to right. Depending on how much slope there is, there might be that need for a geotechnical report to make sure that we don't need any increased size on footings and stability of the soil conditions. So those are the things that we're looking at, but it is a lot more to it than that, in the sense of just trying to help the customer get their vision on paper to kind of show them what it could be at that meeting.
Beautiful. I love that because I know that for most of the clients that we've had the opportunity to interact with, it's, quite frankly, is this property going to be okay? Can I build on it? If I can build on this property, am I going to be able to build it within my budget? Right? I mean, think about road access. I mean, how long is the road? Is it 20 feet or is it 200 feet? Do I need a well? Do I need a septic? Or is it city utilities? Is it a flat lot? Or does it have substantial slope? And if so, that's fine. But okay, but then how much is that slope going to cost for, uh, a much taller foundation or crawl space? Or quite frankly, a daylight basement. So all great things to get figured out, complimentary to you. So any builder that you are doing business with, really want to make sure that that the builder gets their eyes on the property before they start throwing numbers at you for contract signing. So Aaron, if you had to say when looking at property, regardless if you're getting a site visit from a builder or it's just you and your spouse in the car out looking at property, can you kind of help us understand like what are like the one or two things we need to be looking at that could make a project feasible or not feasible from a financial standpoint?
Yeah, I think the first things that I would look for personally would be, especially if it's public water or public utilities, are those utilities actually on the property, meaning like they're already at the site and can hook up, or are they really in the middle of the street? Because if they're in the middle of the street, it could be extremely expensive for you to get those utilities to the property, which might be the reason maybe that property is a little bit less on the market value wise compared to what you might think it is. Definitely looking at the site conditions. Does it look like it's achievable to get in? What kind of slope does it have? Because the grade of that property is definitely going to impact your budget at the end of the day.
Got it. So really topography and utilities. So if I'm on a budget and I pull up to the property and I'm staring down the face of this cliff, it's probably not a good property to make an offer on. So, but okay. And then I guess one of the final questions, I don't see anything in chat yet here, but one of the final questions I had, Aaron, for you is, will you or someone at Adair, whomever, provides the property valuation, will there be any help on kind of estimating site development costs? Or how do you go about understanding how much the development costs are going to be specific to that property?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a good idea of usually what those numbers kind of come in at to put you guys in the ballpark at a property evaluation, because we've seen enough of them. But we can get you connected with approved and subs and vendors that we've used in the past that have worked with Adair Homes that can get you actual hard bids. If you go out and during your feasibility get somebody else that maybe you want to work with and have them shoot you numbers, but we can definitely help you get site development cost into the ballpark of your budget.
Beautiful. And generally we would, the builder would always try to do that during the feasibility study, right? Because that's kind of the main point of doing it, is how much is the development going to cost specific to this property, so I can pull my budget together and know if I'm going to move forward with this particular lot or not, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I have to say, everybody, I don't see any questions in the chat here. I think that's going to be all the questions for today. If you have any additional questions, feel free to comment on this post, and we can definitely answer them there. Or if you interact with us via live chat or on our website, give us a call or schedule a time to meet with us at adairhomes.com/schedule. Thank you again for being with us, Aaron. And thank you for all of our listeners. We will look forward to seeing you next week on Adair Live. Bye for now.